Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video on Farming Simulator 25. Just getting the mower put on today because we've got the grass field to cut. One last cut of the year in October here, so we'll get that cut for... I think we'll do hay actually, because we haven't done hay for a while and we are running a bit out of hay. We've got a few bales left, but it's always good to have a few spares, so we'll do hay I think. Let's get the mower on, there we go, and we will head down to the field, which is not too far away. We'll get unfolded on the front, and we're going to widespread this obviously because with it being hay, it needs to be tedded for drying. So we're going to widespread, not swath it. Obviously these mowers can swath the grass into swaths, so that we can just go straight in with the baler. But as we've got a baler that now does the swathing as well, we don't even need to use this really particularly. So anyway, let's unfold the rear mower and make sure it is set to wide spreading. I think we have to wait till it's folded down, there we go, and then let's just see, work mode is on swath dropping, so we need to move that to wide spreading, there we go. Now we can turn it on, and front mower needs to be turned on as well, there we go. Right, off we go. So we'll get this field cut then for a start. And once that's done, I will get the tedder and get it drying. And once I've done that, it will need to be baled. And of course, because we've got the baler that will put it into a swath, we don't have to use a rake. We can just go straight in with the baler after we've tethered it, which is a good time saver. It's one of the reasons I decided to purchase that baler, because I do like it. It makes it a lot quicker. A few of you have suggested maybe cultivating this edge of the field, but it's not really. I know it will increase the yield slightly, but it's not really a problem. It's such a small area, it's not going to make much difference overall. And it's not like I'm desperate for the grass. One field is more than enough to keep me going. That's my stack of silage from this one field, and there is a few hay bales over there against the building, but yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have a few more, I think, because they won't last forever. And if we run out over the winter, that wouldn't be good, because we won't have any. Well, the only option would be to buy them, which is quite expensive, so we want to be making our own really. So this is a good opportunity to do that. Let's just get the steering on and off we go. So I'll get on with this now as a time lapse and speak to you in a bit. Mowing is all done now. I just realised though we don't actually own a tedder, so we will lease one again. It's just something that we just don't use often enough to warrant buying, I don't think. I think leasing is definitely the way to go with something that we use so infrequently. A bit like the beet harvester as well, it's just something we use for literally an hour or so a year, so I think leasing is the way to go. It's only £2,200, whereas to buy it it'd be 44,000, and it just wouldn't pay for itself really with the amount of hours it would do. So yeah, I think we'll lease it, and we'll go and collect that from the shop, and then we can get the field tedded. And once that's done, like I said earlier, we can just get it baled one pass with the baler. It'll rake it up and bale in one pass, and then just got to stack the bales at the side of the field, or probably some of them will go next to the cow shed, because obviously that's where they're going to be used. Although some of them might get sold depending on how many we get. It depends how many bales we have really, because it's always good to have a good supply, but we don't need too many. If there's an opportunity to sell some, then I probably will sell a few. A bit like with the silage as well, we just don't need that much silage, so the surplus can be sold if required. Anyway, we'll go and pick up this tiller from the shop and we'll get this field tilled. Just getting started with the baling now. We've got the telling all done. Just set us up on the steering, and actually we might as well return the teller now, because that'll be not needed again for another year, I would imagine. So yeah, we'll get that. Well, we don't really need to fold it up, do we? But we might as well fold it up, and then we can just return it to the shop. So how do we do it again? I never know. Well, I do know, it's not the easiest way of doing it. Is there a way of sorting it by age or something? It should be the newest thing, I assume, if it's new. That one, there we go, yep. So we can return that. There we go. So that's gone. This tractor can now move back to the yard, and I'll get on with the baling. So the baling won't take too long, obviously, because we've got our rake on the front. It will significantly reduce the amount of time it's going to take to do that. So I'll just get on with that quickly now, and then we'll have all the bales to move and stack somewhere. So speak to you in a bit. There we go, that is the baling done. So the final job is to head back down there to the field with the telehandler, which is luckily already here, and we'll jump on this and start to move the bales and stack them probably there, where those ones are. There may not be room for all of them there, so whatever's left over will probably have to stay in this field just next to the silage, and then I might move a few silage bales over as well so they're closer to the cow shed, so it's not as fast to load them into the mixer when we need to do that. So that's the plan. We'll get some bales moved, which I know a lot of you always like watching. I quite enjoy it as well. I quite enjoy moving bales. So we'll get on with that as a time lapse, and I'll speak to you again in a bit. there we go. So most of the bales are now moved across. Well, I say most of them, some of them, enough that we will to keep us going for quite a while anyway. So as you can see, it's getting pretty dark now, so we're going to head off to the house and sleep. But yeah, there we go. That's some of the silage bales. One of them fell down, and I've tried to restack them a bit, but it's because the ground's quite uneven just there. It tips away a bit. Not ideal for stacking really, but it does the job. It's fine. It's not too far for us to go then. Just we have to reverse back with the telehandler from when we're loading the mixer, and then the bales are right here rather than going all the way over there. So yeah, that's why I'm stacking them just there. Okay, yeah, time to have a rest, I think. Let's go to the shop, the house, sorry, the farmhouse, and so we'll sleep. We're not going to sleep at the shop, we're going to sleep at the house. There we go, so let's rest until November, and we'll see what the day brings, or the month. So there we go. Not a very bright day, it's quite cloudy, but it does say sun on the forecast, that's good. Actually, it's not that cloudy, is it? It's just early morning, that's why I think. It's coming up towards winter, so it's a bit of a shorter day. So what have we got to do today? Obviously quite a lot of the fields are empty at the moment, so and we can't actually plant anything until the spring, so they're going to have to stay empty now for the rest of the winter. But we will have some stuff to sell, I imagine. Let's have a quick look at prices. Canola oil is the main one, I think. What's the price of the canola oil? Ah, there we go, look. So yeah, that's its best price. We need to go and get some of that sold. And possibly the, what else is the eggs? Let's see. Yes, the eggs. It's the eggs month as well, so we've got to get them loaded up and sold. And possibly, what's the honey? I can't remember the honey. When's that? I always forget this one. No, it's March for the honey, so no, not that. But we have got quite a lot of eggs and the canola oil pallets to sell. So we'll get them loaded up. There's quite a few here, as you can see. We'll need the flatbed trailer with the forklift on it. So we'll jump into the lorry and we'll get the trailer hitched up, which is over by the sawmill. Actually, there's quite a lot to sell at the sawmill as well, but we'll leave that for now. We'll focus on getting the things sold at their best price, which is obviously the eggs and the canola oil. And I should think all of it will be going to the farmer's market as well, because that's where you get the bonus price at. So yeah, that's where we'll be heading with it all, which in the case of the canola oil is not very far, just around the corner. So yeah, let's get the eggs loaded for a start. Right, so we've got all of the canola oil loaded. Obviously the rest of it is sunflower oil and rice oil, and that is still in production. Apart from, I think the rice oil might have finished now, so we need to stop that because it's running and there's no where are we? Oil mill. Yeah, there we go. The rice oil has finished production now, but the canola oil is still running and the sunflowers are still running, so they're going to continue to spawn more pallets, which will be hopefully be able to sell most of them before the price starts to drop, but some of them won't. And the sunflowers will be sold in about February, March time, I think. Anyway, the canola, which we've got loaded already, that needs to go to the farmer's market now, along with the eggs. We'll see what we get for these. Hopefully it'll be a reasonable amount, but we'll find out. It should be pretty good, it usually is for this sort of thing. Plus the bonus you get at the farmer's market is always helpful as well, so yeah, hoping for a decent amount here. I know it doesn't look like too much, but there is a lot of products there on that trailer. What have we got? So 21,600 litres of eggs and 13,000 litres of canola oil. Still seems weird measuring eggs in litres, but never mind. Canola oil's fine though, that's in litres. Right, so the farmer's market is just up here on the right. Let's find out what we get for this load. Where is it? Here it is. This is the entrance. It's quite hidden. It sort of comes up on you quite quickly if you're not ready for it, I suppose. But yeah, that's it. So we'll get into the trigger point and we'll get these sold. So I've no idea what this is going to be. Let's find out. Let's unstrap. Hopefully it'll all go together. Let's get a bit further forward maybe. There we go. 198,400. Well, you can't really argue with that, so that's pretty good. Okay. So that's brought our total bank balance up to £423,800, which is very nice. Okay, so I think that'll probably do for today's video. Not much more I want to really do in this episode, and obviously next time we'll be continuing with something else. But oh, there's the sawmill products, isn't there, to sell and stuff like that, and maybe some weeding, I think, of the wheat fields. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of jobs to do. I'll have a look at that nearer to the next episode. But for now I think we'll finish. So I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.